And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semifinals. Our semifinals here of the SC4ALL Philadelphia offline event. Oh boy, it's been an intense tournament so far. The quarterfinals have concluded, and we are jumping into our first semis. We're jumping into our TVP, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, upper Symphony, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, we have the red Terran, it is Percival. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our fresh best of 5. As a reminder, this is a best of 5, and I also do apologize. Previously, I think I did leave Streamer Zone as the team for Australia. Australia is teamless, but the reason why it said Streamer Zone is because we were casting Gerald earlier. So I do apologize for that. Stray is teamless, and Gerald is on Streamer Zone, as we do see Percival moving out across the map, looking to go for an eBay block. So a bit of a cheeky move here by Percival. He does move in. I assumed to go in for said eBay, as we do keep the SCV back. Yeah, Pro moves out across the map. The SCV moves in. So again, very nice and timed here by Percival, timing it with the probe moving out across the map. eBay is going to be thrown down, and with this we can delay the expansion of Gerald and even force the unnatural natural. So cheeky start here by Percival, back at home, going for his own just rag single gas. This typically leads into a factory follow-up. Yep, Gerald, he scouts, he sees, and ooh, he's forced to expand elsewhere. Yeah, he's forced to expand at the third location. Percival he's chasing. There's an Nexus. And this means that now there's the opportunity to be hyper aggressive, because hey, now Gerald is stuck between his main base and his quote-unquote natural at a much more exposed location. So it's going to be a much more awkward defense here for Gerald. Percival does follow up with the factory. So factory follow-up. Go. As we are going to be settling in. With this, we can go into Hellion production and try to be aggressive with Hellions and try to poke back and forth between the main base and between the third. Otherwise, Percival can just play standard. Yep, there's the add-on swap into Reacted Hellion. So Reacted Hellion is going to be amassing. As a reminder, it takes 3 Hellions to one-shot a probe. 3 Hellions. So we're building up. Hellions are on the way. Oh, going for the starport before CC. Hyper aggressive by Percival. Okay. We'll still be expanding. He has the SCV in position, but again, it's a much more delayed expansion here. Which means this can lead into a quadruple Hellion drop, actually, with the medevac. Hellions just shut down the probe. Oh, only 2. You got my attention. Only 2 Hellions, switching to Widow Mines instead. Going for the Widow Mine drop, not Hellions. Okay. Well, not the Hellion drop, I mean. As Gerald, he does catch out the Hellions, will zone away. Nice movement. Widow Mines are out. As Hellions that do barely slip past. Drop is on the way. As one Hellion goes down. Gerald, he currently is in the dark as to what's going on, as to what the follow-up is, whether there's more Hellions or something else more sinister on the way. As Percival does move out. Gerald, he fans out his Stalkers. He will spot the drop. And he will snipe the medevac. Okay, medevac doesn't get into the... Ooh, medevac goes down. One of the Widow Mines as well. Nice defense here by Gerald. And Gerald, he defends. He defends, losing only 1 probe. At the same time, Hellions, they do slip in towards the main base, but only 1 Hellion. Doesn't achieve much damage. And despite the more awkward start, Gerald, he defends well. He defends well. Shuts down the Hellions, shuts down the Widow Mines. And it's been a while since this has happened, but we do have a Protoss player with a more comfortable start compared to Percival. So Gerald, he does have a comfortable start. Looking very, very solid here. Getting his third base, getting into extra gateways, building up into Blink. And the pressure is very much on Percival. Pressure is on, he's getting into stim. Into his eventual bio play. Until then, Gerald fans out his stalkers. And Gerald coming quite hard here into a gateway composition. Delaying a splash damage, going into charge, going to 5 more gates. It's going to be 8 in total. Gerald pulls away, doesn't lose any stalkers. So 2 more SCVs, pulls back. And we'll see how hard Percival commits here. He's had a really shaky early game, and Percival, he's building up to only 2 tanks. He's gonna get a 3rd. Okay, 3rd tank is gonna be on the way. Still waiting for his upgrades, waiting for Sim. +1. When he does move out, I mean, Gerald, he's in position to delay. Banning out his units. Oh, can even blink into the main. It's a little bit too late to deny Stim, though. Yes, Stim will finish. Yeah, a little bit too late, but he will deny combat shields. Nice pickup. Combat shields is denied. Gets a Marine. Gets 1. Gets 2. Gets 3. And very nice control. He blinks away. Doesn't lose anything either. Very clean control here from Gerald. Only losing two probes. Oh, 1 stalker finally falls. And Gerald blinks away. From here, Percival, he's committed. He's very committed here. He's rallying everything he can across the map. He's got 3 tanks. Lead out 2 more Marines. Oh, he wants a tank. He gets it. Oh my god. Tank barely goes down. And Percival forced to expand. 3rd CC is on the way. At this point, he's bled out too much. Yeah, the push will fail. Instead, going for drop play instead. And Gerald, he has a massive lead here. Spots the drops. Gets another 2 Marines. Yeah, collapsing on the Medivacs. Oh, nice target finding into Percival. Ay. This Percival does pull out. Gerald getting a 4. And again, Gerald, he has a very, very nice economic lead. He has the army lead as well. He's pushing out. Now, Gerald, he does not have to push into the natural. He can just chill out here and wait for Percival to expand. Or he can just move in. Oh. Tempted. Tempted to move in. High Templar has arrived. Storm is done. But pushing into these 3 tanks here, not going to be easy. Gerald, he thinks better of it. As you mentioned, there's no need, right? Like, there's no need for Gerald to push into these 3 siege tanks. Just has to wait for Percival to expose himself. Speaking of, here comes a 3rd. So Gerald, he's rotating. Percival, he's out in the open. Tanks are further back. Does get, 1 medevac. 1 medevac goes down. So run back towards the natural. As LT pull away. Nice Sim City here protecting the tanks. Ooh, High Templar, they're exposed. They barely pull back. Whew. Percival so far is holding. The tanks are safe. So far is holding on. He wants that EMP. Ooh, does land. Nice moves out of Percival. Lands the EMP. War Prism's on the way for reinforcements. 1-1 is almost done. And Gerald is calming down. And what's important here is that once he realized that he could not break this position, he didn't try, right? He didn't try, he just backed off, he retreats, preserves the army more importantly, and then can build up for a later push. And Gerald is almost maxed. He's almost maxed out. And again, Percival, he's been on the back foot the entire game. Oh, EMPs, they land, but the High Templar, they're safe. They're safe in the Prism. Storms are moving in. Likewise, so do the Vikings. As the prison actually does hit the main. Go for the warp in, and the warp in looks like it barely does not finish. Whew. Is denied. Warp in is denied. Gerald, he's maxed out. Once again, he rotates. He's coming in. And I see EMP. EMP pops off. The prism is going to get shut down. And the storms, they do connect. Oh my god. Yeah, storms connecting. Does rush through them. Still very tense though. It's Gerald, he has to pull away. And if Percival, if he can take this fourth base, if he can maintain the fourth base, he can max out, he can build up, and start working towards a greater army, towards Liberators, more Ghosts. Percival, he's getting there. Again, he's stuck at home. The Terran, I mean. He has been stuck defending. Does not land on the High Templar. And again, slowly, Percival is building up his army. The Academy, of course, is done. Still only one starport. I mean, there's no Colossus, so it doesn't really need many Vikings. This is where I'm a little bit concerned with Gerald here. At this point, he's building up a bank. What are we doing with said bank? He's not taking. He's not taking up. And that will hurt Gerald if he fails to break Percival's fourth base. Speaking of, he's going for it. Dives on the tank. Tank goes down. Gets one. But it's going to be forced back at the same time. Warping into the main. Zealots, they do catch some of the ghosts. Nicely done. That's 3 ghosts going down. Storm of the main army. Gerald getting himself the tanks as well. And Gerald, he does get into the mineral line. He fails at the fourth base, but he gets into the third. And SCVs are going down. Brutal damage. Storm zones away. And he's still not done. That's going to be 17 SCV kills. Did cost Gerald a lot of supply, but he has a bank. He has a bank. He can rebuild. Can warp in. And the scary thing here is the follow-up. Is Gerald's next wave his next push? Percival, he's rebuilding all those SCVs. He's down to 1 tank. His defensive setup is nowhere near as strong. Nowhere near as good. Oh, doesn't quite get the Medivacs. Trades against the Marines, has to respect the main army. Oh, once again, was a distraction. Gets into the mineral line. 13 more SCVs. Yeah, more workers going down. Storm in the mineral line as well. Do we get another storm? We do! Oh my god. Storms on the SCVs. Gonna be 24, 25. 25 SCV kills, but Percival, he will defend the fourth base. He defends the fourth, he defends the third. At this point, I would say, is Gerald throwing away too much? He does kill 25 workers, which is great and all, but he will still lose a lot of Zealots, High Templar. And Gerald, he's burning through his bank. If he had the goal base, different story. And Percival, he's weathering the storm. He's still retaining his main army, his Marauders, his Ghosts. His core units still survive. Oh. Yes, we get a decent storm, but once again, Gerald, he just does not have enough. Oh, we're losing Immortal. Up. Barely gets away. Barely pulls out. And that was the moment. That was Percival's moment here to break out. He fails to do so. He fails to move out across the map, which means the gold. The gold is getting up and running. Oh! The armies do clash. And Gerald mainly throwing away Zealots. And Zealots, they trade well. They trade well, and Gerald, he has done it. He breaks through. As you mentioned, Percival, he's just been stuck at home defending, and he was out trading for a while, but eventually SCVs were falling, tanks went down, Marines, Ghosts as well, and Gerald overwhelms. Does overwhelm. Oof. Brutal Storm. And Gerald can rebuild, remax, and do that again. And every time, Percival, he's had less and less to defend. He's had a weaker defense. As I mentioned, the goal base is fully operational. Gerald, he's maxed. He's up 70 supply. And once again, collapses on top of the Ghost. Ghost gets picked up. Disruptors have arrived. Decent connections. Storm does zone away. Still holding on to that one Nova. These LT get into the middle line once again. GG gets called, and Gerald, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Gerald does take a lead in the series. Again, Gerald, he had a very comfortable early game. This is something that we have been unaccustomed to because the previous series with Percival, he was typically the one with a stronger early game, with more aggression, with more momentum, at least in that series against Estrella. Here, Gerald defended well. Here, Gerald, he shut down the Hellion harass, the Widowmine drops as well, and the follow-up, and was able to punish. He was able to counterattack, get across the map, deny combat shields, pick off Marines, pick off medevacs. Gerald, he was the one with the stronger early game, and with that, Percival, he was stuck at home. We did kind of mention it at the beginning of the previous series, how TVP is very momentum based, and we kind of saw that in one way in the Estrella series, where Percival, he was able to get damage done early on and then maintain that lead and extend that lead. Instead, we saw the inverse of that here when it came to Gerald versus Percival, where Gerald, he had the stronger early game, and with that, he was able to just contain Percival and make sure he never got to threaten and move out across the map. I mean, the early game is it's brutal. And here we go. Now we're getting into game number 2. Having big game as much on ladder paid off. If you haven't been watching Gerald, he plays a lot against Terrans on just in tournaments during the Open Cups. We cast a lot of Gerald versus like Bjorn, Cure against all the Korean Terrans, including Percival. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our next game, and spawning in the top side of Magnatha, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone, leading the series 1-0. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran. It is Percival. We go. And again, Gerald, he was able to get into the late game, able to get comfortable. We did mention earlier how Gerald, he has some of the best late game out there in PvT. We've seen Gerald take down Cure, take down Bjorn, take down all the big Koreans inside Open Cups. I mean, that's the one upside of being so active right now in StarCraft is the two predominant races are Terran and Protoss when it comes to activity, when it comes to matchups. So you get a lot of PvT practice, a lot of TVP practice as well, and Gerald has been benefiting from that. So is Percival. Like I mentioned it before, Percival, I would say his best matchup is TVP as well. And there's the reason why he looked as terrifying as he was against Estrella, and we'll see if he can bring that here against Gerald. Once again, it comes down to the early game. We'll see what he can get done. As we do have an economic opener. So single gas, racks expand, add a Percival. Welcome to Magnatha. We do expect more economic openers. If you remember, when we saw Estrella on Magnatha, he did go for a 2-gate opener into a faster third base, into a bay, into just hyper greed. Winding it back, like as to what happened, what transpired on Magnatha, Estrella was hyper greedy and he got punished for it. Here, I would imagine that Gerald is going to be more tempered. He's going to be more tempered and won't be cutting as many corners, I would imagine. We'll see. Here we go. So now our players are building up. Gerald needs Tempest against this turtle. Not necessarily. Tempests are typically only needed when the opponent gets up to a heavy Liberator count, into a heavy Liberator count, and also when they have more of a map presence. Otherwise, you can get away with this heavy gateway composition as long as you do have the economic lead. Like we spoke about it, but once Gerald got his goal base up and running, then he can like afford those losses and pull that off. Here we go. Here we go. This Percival's building up, getting to zone 111. Snipes an SCV. Not bad. Gets a worker, denies mining. Nice little start here for Gerald. Behind this are 9 extra gateways, and Gerald is playing safe. So 3 Gate Blink. 3 Gate Blink Stalker. I wouldn't have been opposed to 2 Gate Blink, especially on this map, but again, is playing it safe. As Gerald will now expand. Here we go, it is go time now for Percival. Triple Hellion towards the natural, dropping to the main. Oh, nice force field. Yeah, Gerald, he keeps up. Zones away the Hellions. At the same time, Stalkers are in position, shield battery as well. Gerald, he's holding, he's defending. As Percival is investing into Cloak Banshee. Committing to Cloak Banshee behind this. Getting into tank production. Looks like one more tank into an add-on swap. So working towards those upgrades. Working towards a later timing. So building up. Likewise, just like last game, Gerald is going into a Gateway Explosion, into Charge, then into earlier Storm this time. I want to say last game he delayed Storm a little bit further. And he went up to 8 Gateways first. This time earlier Storm. As Hellion's not bad, they do get, oh, almost 4. Yeah, 4 probe kills, not bad. Never mind. There we go. 4 probes for 4 Hellions. 3 Hellions even. So a bit of a back and forth. Does find some damage. Gerald, he did scout across the map. He's aware of the add-ons. No detection yet. Robo's still on the way. No observer. Uh-oh. Does for the Banshees. Cloak is revealed. And Gerald, he has no way to deal with this. Not yet. Robo's done. Where's the observer? Uh-oh. A bit of an oversight here. Gerald, there is no observer. Banshees, they go in. Observer now begins. Big slip up there out of Gerald. Very big slip up. Never started the observer. And this is getting a hand. 2 Banshees, they can one-shot probes. That's going to be 9, 10, 11 probe kills. And this is becoming critical damage. Critical damage. Ay, ay, ay. 15 probes. Again, it was a later robo. It was a robo after the 3rd. So late robo, late detection. Gerald did cut a corner. And Percival takes a lead. Percival does take a lead. He did have a shakier start initially, but I mean, the Banshees, they make up for it. They more than make up for it. What's scary as well, they're alive. The Banshees, they survive the aggression as well. They can always go back in and find more damage. Again, 20 kills into... That's crazy. 20 probe kills. And Percival is ready to snowball out of control. Now, thankfully, Storm is done for Gerald, so he can make a defense. If he can land these storms, he can hold. Speaking of... Oh! High Templar revealed. Percival looking for another way in. Ghost on the way. Since forward, there's a first. Oh my god! Juicy Storm! Storm pops up. The other Storm does graze the army. Nothing major. But Gerald holds. Gerald, he does hold. Does defend. And Percival has to get the hell out of here. There's still, 2 more Storms. Manages to get 7 more probes. Gerald is crippled economically. And he's going to go for the kill. Nice EMP. Very nice EMP. Takes down the High Templar, the Prism as well, and Percival shuts down the army. GG gets called. Gerald was all in, and Percival will tie the series 1-1. GG. Again, it was all or nothing there for Gerald. He had lost too much. Remember, he had lost 20 probes to the Banshee harass. So the Banshee and the Hellion harass, 20 workers went down. That is game-ending damage. That's why Gerald was all in. He did have a decent fight initially, but that's all he had left. That's all he had. He had to end the game then and there with that army. GG. We have a back and forth. We have a back and forth. We're getting into game 3, and we're going to be loading into Pylon. Let us go. Again, Gerald, he was punished for being greedy. I say greedy. He did go 3-gate, that is true, but he went 3-gate blink into a 3rd before the robo. It is very common nowadays to go for a faster robo because of builds like this, and Gerald did decide to cut that corner, and he was punished hard for it. Was punished. And now we're getting into game 3. As a reminder, this is a best of 5, so plenty of games ahead of us. Plenty more to come. As we load into Pylon, this is a map that does favor aggression, and we'll see what the players go for. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss for Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran. It is Percival. Here we go. And welcome one all to Pylon. Pylon is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Aggression is heavily favored on this map. We often see a lot of all-ins. But if you've been watching Geralt over the past 2 days, you would know that against aggressive Terran players, like Dolan before him in yesterday's broadcast, or even earlier today against Epic, what did Gerald do? 4-gate blink. He went 4-gate blink against Dolan and against Epic on this map once he confirmed that there was an aggressive build coming his way. So that's something to bear in mind. That is something that Gerald is quite fond of here on Pylon as a reaction, as a response. Double gas opener out of Percival. So we'll see what Percival gets into, and likewise, if he does commit into an all-in, we'll see if Gerald can scout in time. As Gerald has been quite successful against all-ins on Pylon. We go. Also, we're being told that, of course, there are going to be some delays in regards to the finals of this tournament, just because I believe there's going to be the Brutal finals first. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of downtime. So the current plan, the current schedule is that we're going to cast both semifinals for SC2, and then we're going to switch to the StarCraft 64 and then Brood War. Then we'll wrap up the Brood War finals, and then we'll switch to StarCraft 2. Just as a heads up. Gerald is going for his Twilight Council opener. Does open Twilight Council. Percival does slip in. Reapers into the main. Nice KDA charge. Gets into the middle line as well, getting 2, 3 probe kills. Not bad, getting to 4. Yeah, 4 probes going down. 5th probe as well. Again, Gerald here wasn't quite in position. He was punished, and that's going to be 5 dead workers behind this Percival. He's building up into his own Cyclone follow-up, Cyclone drop. And the goal here is to maintain momentum for Percival, for the Terran. To keep things going. The station goes in. Gets eyes on the add-on swap. So is aware, yep, does confirm. Marine Cyclone drop across the map. And Gerald, he's throwing down 2 more gateways, getting up to 3. So 3 gates set up, but Robo's on the way as well this time. Again, he skipped this Robo last game. This time, eyes. Won't skip it again. Not again, Pat. This Percival going for the sentry. Nice snipe. Oh. Shibai does support. Oh, the last sentry still goes down. A brutal pickup. Gets the sentry. Does not get into the mineral line though. Gerald does hold. He holds, he defends. We have fake cloak. Do love to see it. Has Gerald at least doing some counter damage. 3 SCVs. He's doing what he can. Can we get 4? Oh, okay. 4 SCV kills. Gets 4 SCVs. He also confirms that it was a fake upgrade, so he gets eyes on the add-on swap. Stim is on the way. And he knows that Banshees are not coming his way. So nice harassment, nice scouting here out of Gerald. We do have a back and forth. Gerald's claiming his 3rd base, and he's taking up not into Storm this time, but into Colossus. So Colossus on the way. Base on the way. The game is slowing down. I would imagine that Percival doesn't want to commit to a push without Stim. Oh. As it does posture. And trying to catch out some of these stalkers. Cyclone falls. And we're waiting to see the 3rd CC or 2 more Raxes. Gas is being taken. We're expecting Percival to expand. Still trying to trade. Trying to be active. First, he rotates over towards the 3rd. Still rallying everything across the map, actually. Opts not to expand. And we'll see if he can break through. Yeah, this way he's just rallying. He's just rallying in. Stim is almost done. 5 more seconds. And there's still no Colossus. Yeah, Colossus is still on the way. Decent trades here by Gerald. He blinks well. Gets a Marauder. Gets 1, gets 2. Picks up the Medivacs as well. Ay, ay, ay. Percival, he gets punished. He gets punished for being overly aggressive. He was hoping to break him here and now. But Percival, he will lose everything. Colossus is on the way. Gets a Widowmine. Base out the shots. And can Gerald do it? Can he break him? The boys are being pulled. There's 2 Marauders left. Still 2 Marauders. Barely holds on. It's way too soon. Yeah, with reinforcing zealots. Picks up more SCVs. Gets a medevac. 1 medevac left. Down to 1. And here comes a Colossus. And again, Percival just being punished for being so in the face of Geralt, and unfortunately the aggression failed. Lost too much. God had some crazy blink control. He controlled well back. And remember, Percival, he chose not to expand, right? He basically forced himself all in. He chose not to expand, chose to commit. And Percival's falling behind. The longer this game goes on, the better it is for the Protoss. Percival, he has to end it soon. Or try to end it soon. Are we coming for a pseudo surround, but a second Colossus arrives. And with 2 Colossi there, there's no shot this armor can be broken. Once I move in, I mean, reinforcements are still heavily delayed. Oh! Diving the Colossus. Barely gets away. Gerald pulls back. And Percival holds. He holds on back. Here comes a 4th. Go now with twice the amount of expansions. Lack of War Prism is concerning though. Now getting a 4th Colossus. Let's go. A nice force field. Locks down some of the rollers. Let's go. He has to be very careful not to overextend. He pulls away. Pulls away when the zealots get low. Getting a 4th Colossus. And again, as you mentioned, Percival, he doesn't have a 3rd base, doesn't have an economy. He can't really maintain this for too much longer. Not like this. Now his army, the size of his army, I should say, is quite large, and he can try to force an all in and take a better fight. But he has to do that soon. He's up to 4 Vikings. He can, of course, pull the boys. Do we get a 5th Colossus? Do we? Oh no. Opts not to pull the boys. That's Percival, he's pushing. The War Prism does still with the main army. Oh! So I'll save the Colossus. Army's a bit out of position. The Colossus do move in. Oh, Prism goes down. Yeah, Prism goes down, one of the Colossus as well. Miscontrol there from Gerald, and Percival, he can still pull this off. He can still do this. Gets another Colossus, down to 2. Yeah, 2 Colossus remaining. Again, Gerald losing that Prism was brutal. Likewise, only 1 shield battery. Gerald, he has money, he has a bank. We go warping in 6 outside of time. As we lose another Colossus down to 1, down to 0. 0 Colossus left, he lost all 4. Lost all 4 Colossus, and Percival, he's doing it. Wow, he's doing it, never goes off. Oh my god, does connect. Okay. Brutal connection. Gerald, can he hold? It's still close. It's still very close. The Disruptor goes down. Again, Percival, he's been 2 base all in this entire time. And he almost breaks through. Casito, baby, casito. Oof. Yeah, he gets locked down. Forcing with a friendly fire. Another Zealot warp in. The mine shots are brutal here, though. He's up all the Zealots. And Gerald, what's his gateway count? 8. He's on 8 gates. We need those warp ins. The boys are being pulled. Yeah, the boys are barely pulled. And with that, Gerald, he is holding on. He can afford to lose some workers. It's fine. That's 6 pros going down. 6 workers. Oh, we landed. I was like, Percival expanded? No, he floated his main. He floated his main base over. Now, this is allowing Percival to actually maintain his economy and build up a second army. Thanks to the main base floating and thanks to the natural floating as well, Percival, he can still muster up a comparable army. Like, he's still in this. He's still in this, even though he fails to kill, and he has been all in this entire time. He can still build up and maintain this army and still try to kill Gerald before things get out of hand. Gerald, he's up to 2 Colossi. Only 3 Vikings. Oh, long distance mining. Yeah, brutal setup. But again, as time goes on, Gerald, he's leaving Percival behind. This is 4th base. Nice mine connections. Mines a pop off. There's just not enough fire though. Not enough Marines, not enough Marauders. No ghosts either. And Gerald, he has done it at this point. Has done it. He can keep going. Keep sending it back. Diving on top of the Marines. Mine shots, I mean, they do get some decent connections here. All the Delta going down. But what about everything else? Oof. Percival out of position. 11 SCVs going down. Main army moves in. A little bit messy here from Gerald. So he will throw away some of the Colossi. Yeah, a little bit messy, but Gerald, he can afford to make mistakes. He can afford to be messy. Blinks in. Does focus on the Vikings. At least he tries to. We go 1 Viking left, and GG gets called. Gerald, he will snowball out of control. He will take, or he will extend his lead in this series 2-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, a very intense back and forth here. Percival did commit into a 2-base all-in. Gerald, he was able to barely hold on and barely defend. It was very close, very clutch, but as time was progressing, Gerald, he had his 3rd base up. He was getting his 4th base up and running as well. Gerald, he did a great job when it came to deterring and kind of slowing Percival down, picking off a Bio Army, picking off Medivacs as well. GG. GG, well played. And now we're getting into our next game. Gerald has a lead, and we'll see if Gerald can claim the series here and now. The pressure is on. Here we go. Oh. So make sure we get everyone involved. Percival almost seals the victory. It was crazy. Like, Percival, he was able to build up a terrifying army on 2 bases. It was terrifying. Almost broke Gerald at the 3rd. Almost. And here we go. We're getting into game number 4, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Aggress One, we have the Polish Protoss player. With the Polish Protoss, we have the Blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone, leading the series 2-1, and 1 game away from claiming the series. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Terran player, the South Korean Terran. It is Percival. Go. You're gonna cast StarCraft 64 and show us your N64 knowledge? I mean, I guess, like, I'll be honest. We were casting some of N64 yesterday, and the game is very limited. That I don't really think there's much to say. Like, if you were here yesterday, you would have seen double gas opener. By the way, double gas opener going for a faster factory, more tech heavy start for Percival. Let's go. But yeah, what did we have yesterday we had one game of N64 or StarCraft 64. We had Erniak going into one base Muta, and we had Ron going one base Muta. We had Erniak trying to go for +1 melee. He rushed into an early Evo chamber into +1 melee, but he missed the Muta play. It was one base versus one base. He was defending, and the Mutas arrived, and then it took like 15 minutes, and they eventually killed Erniak. Like there wasn't really much happening. Like so I'm hoping we get something more competitive when we do get around to N64. Like the novelty was nice, but like again, you could see the players struggling to control their armies, struggling to macro, and struggling to do everything just because of how limited like the controls are. So I guess it was fun, but I wouldn't say it was an exciting game. But there we go. As Percival does open up with a proxy starport. Let's go. So typically with proxy starport, this could be one of two things. Either we're going to proxy medevac to go for the Hellion drop into the mineral line to kill some probes, or it's going to be proxy liberator, so Hellion Reaper distracts while the liberator gets in. So both are viable, both are options, and we'll see what he goes for. As Gerald, his goal here should be to wall up. To wall off. There we go. Medevac is on the way. He's going for the drop. So Hellion drop into the natural. What was lacking was a bit of macro planning. I mean, Percival, his goal was to commit to a 2-base all-in to begin with. There we go. Hallucination dips in. Hallucination should confirm the lack of starports. But here comes a drop into the natural. And how quickly does Gerald respond? Oof. Nice, very nice force. Okay, Jesus. Clutch force field saves the mineral line. Hellions to drop into the main. Ooh, they get 1, they get 2. Yeah, 4 probes going down. Remember, they're one-shotting. 6 probes, 7 probe kills, and the medevac gets away. So nice damage here by Percival. Gets 7 probes, pulls away, losing 1 Hellion so far. Only losing 1. StarCraft 64 handicap. True. It's like if you think that Brood War is like you as a player like fighting against like the game itself to make things work and make things happen, mate, you ain't seen nothing yet with N64. Like it's the struggle was real for that N64 game. The struggle was very real. It was very apparent, I should say. Meanwhile, making use of the proxy, going for the Liberator follow-up. So Liberator into the natural, drop into the main. Oh, boost in. And barely gets through. Yeah, barely does get through, does unload. Gets a couple of workers. Probe's going to be going down. Delaying mining, disrupting the economy. Again, back at home, Percival is building up his bio army, getting to sim, more tanks. Setting up. And we're building up into a longer game. Okay, so a much faster third CC. I mean, I say faster, there was no third CC at all last game for Percival, but here is setting up for a faster third base, building up in towards the mid game. So we're slowing things down, we're macroing up. This will give Gerald some time to recover. As there's the tank. Yeah, he decides not to blink in. respects the tank, and pulls away. As we settle into this, Percival, he has had a better start, killing 12 probes already, 12 workers. It means that Percival can freely just build up into the mid-game, and the pressure instead is on Gerald to recover. And there are ways, of course. Zealot run-by, Zealot counterattacks, blink control. Pressure is on Gerald. The more you talk about the struggle, the more I want to see an SC2/brutal approach, right? I mean, I said this yesterday, I want to see an N64 game of players that get to spend like at least a week practicing it, and a week like actually getting good at it. Well, I don't think we're quite getting that though. Like, I could be mistaken though. Maybe. We'll see. But I would love to see that. To see some high caliber N64 play for StarCraft. As Percival does boost in, Charge also getting us over the tanks. Yeah, just barely. Tanks will go down. Gerald, he shuts down the push. Yeah, shuts down the push, shuts down the army, diving on top of the medivacs, and Percival did overextend. Yeah, massive overextension here from the Terran, and Gerald, he's recovering. We spoke earlier how the pressure was on Gerald to have something go his way, to deal some economic damage, when instead, Percival comes to him. Percival, he came to him, threw away those tanks, threw away his bio. And again, that was a much better fight for Gerald. And now we can get a fourth. Now Gerald, he expands, getting a fourth base, Storm is on the way, 1-1 upgrades. Gerald, he's back in this. Now we can calm down. The big struggle here for Percival is going to be taking a fourth base, taking and maintaining his fourth. Assuming that Gerald's able to maintain map control and threaten him. Now we're building up those ghosts. Viking production has begun. Oh. Gerald's getting ready for a flank. Does have his flanking army. Scout confirms that Percival, he's back at home. If he does move out, then Gerald, he can pull the trigger. This feels a little bit premature. Percival, he can respond, and he's fine. Oh. Does respond in time. Again, just a lot of posturing. Zealots warping in. Armor gets spotted. Nice snipe of the ghost. 2 ghosts left. Down to 2. Does force a pickup. And once again, Percival is going to calm down. He's trying to be active. Oh, nice EMPs. Nice EMPs this time. It's time for the Templar. Here comes the fourth base. We spoke earlier, this is going to be a big moment for Percival, getting his fourth. And slowly getting it up and running. The pressure is going to be on Gerald to do something about the economy. As both armies are still building up. And going into this mass gateway style, I mean, Gerald, he's not really there yet. Ideally, want to be up a base, up a mineral line. So they get sniped. Still 2 match shots left. Get some okay connections. Storms are coming in the War Prism. And Gerald, he can't quite keep pushing. Yeah, there are the reinforcements. Oh! Prism goes down. And Gerald, he has to back off. Has to back off again, pushing up this ramp. It's not going to work out well for him. Pulls away, he rotates. Prism into the main. God, he wants that 4th. He wants it. Very nice EMPs. EMPs are collapsed on the high tempo. There's what, 1 storm left. Brutally EMPs. God, he was clumped. He was clumped up. There's the 1 storm. God, he has to get out of here. He has to get out. At the same time, Prism gets in. A Warpin will finish. God, he has to pull away. And he gets into the main base. SCVs are falling. Production as well. Percival turns everything back around. If it wasn't for this Warp Prism, he could just be pushing. He could even break the base. But everything comes back home. God, he still wants that 4th. Oh. Percival's ready. Percival's in position. 12 SCVs do go down. And Gerald, he can rebuild. Again, that was just a brutal fight for Gerald, losing all the High Templar. The Templar, the Zealots, the Archons as well. Gerald, he needs to warp in. Oh no! A brutal rally, losing 2 War Prisms. It's okay, he had a 3rd. he has 3 War Prisms. Oh, he had 3 Prisms. He's crazy. 3rd Prism moves out. This space is going to be forfeit. How many gates is he on? Only 13. Force a recall. Force a recall back. Both armies are maxing out. Percival not getting a 5th. And Gerald just can't expand. Gerald just kept busy. Meanwhile, Percival is taking up even further. We have the fusion core done. The Liberators are on the way. Percival, he's perfecting his army. He's almost there. Can Tull snipe one of the Templar? Goes down. Gerald trying to keep up. So there's a bit of extra still out there. Speaking of, drops into the main. There was 1 defensive storm. No warp-ins. And Gerald, he's maxed out. He's maxed out. Recall's not available. He's racing back home. Brutal damage in the main. And again, Gerald, he's dragged out of position. Dragged out of position. Percival is moving out. And just pulling Gerald apart. As this is still popping off. Gerald, he defends against the main army. Drop is still in the main. Oh, now forced to pick up. Gerald, he's holding on. Trying to at least. And how many Liberators do we have? 2. So it'd be 6. So 6 Liberators. Gerald making a Void Ray. Okay. Having some anti-air. Oh. Yeah, High Templar went down. It's still been shaky fights here for Gerald. Does have a bank though. Oh, I see. Well, there's 2 more High Templar. The trades, baby. Percival's just been so efficient. So efficient. But Liberators do go down. Still trying to force his way in. Down to only 2 High Templar. So the only 2 Templar. As Percival's got his 5th base, now getting another 6th expansion on the way. It's a crazy economy. It's oh, I guess it goes. EMP still did land. That was worth it for Percival. Also worth it, getting Neo Steel frames, high sec auto tracking, all the upgrades coming into play. Again, we're in the late game. And Percival, he's in a better position. He has the greater economy. Gerald, he's had a hard time having any momentum here. Playing out more Templar. And Percival's just outscaling. As he's about to have 8 Liberators. That's a lot of libs. And Gerald, he's just stuck with the Gateway Army. Just stuck with the Gateway units. He has 4 High Templar. But not much else behind this. And the scariest thing about this game has been Percival's economy, right? The 4th base untouched, the 5th, the 6th expansion as well. Like, that's how Percival can afford this army, can afford this more refined army, I should say. Did have a warping into the main that one time, sure. But just the one time. Small liberation has arrived, does force the blink. Does get the libs. Gets all 4. Forced to pick up at the same time, pushing towards the top side. Cannons, it will buy some time. Jody's coming. Does get here in time. Should be able to defend. As Gerald's holding, Percival, he does strike the 3rd. Gets into the mineral line. Base will go down. And again, Gerald's just being pulled apart. Defends the forward base, but he'll lose another expansion. We'll lose a mineral line. Oh, this does recall in time. Just barely. Oh, God. But still brutal trades. And you can see Gerald just plummet in supply. No detection. No shot. Okay. Oh. It does have the Observer. Observer does move in. You can see Percival still rallying. And Gerald, he's had enough. He's like, he just sends everything across. Doing what he can. And Gerald doesn't really have a bank as a problem. Like, sure, he has 4k minerals, but he has no gas. He has no gas, so he can't replace his High Templar, his Archons, his Stalkers, the units that matter. And Storm does try to zone. And Percival's main army shouldn't be stopped here. Going for another expansion. Now the Nexus falls. The ghost is still popping up. It's still across the map. And again, this is mainly a Zealot composition. It's almost pure Zealot. There's 1 High Templar. Percival, he has to be careful though. Pushing deep into the bases. And deep into the expansions. Zelsay will clean this up. Some brutal positioning though. I should say some nice positioning for Percival. Trading as best he can. But again, he kited into the expansions of Gerald. So he will lose his army. Okay, something going Gerald's way. Yo, the Swarm Tusk, let's go. Oh my God, that's a lot of freedom. It's a lot of liberation. 9 Liberators. Yeah, the Freedom Zone's a bully back Gerald. And again, this just comes down to Gerald just being outscaled. Like, his army just doesn't really compare. Doesn't compare in a head-on fight. Percival, he has perfected his army, and Gerald, he's stuck with something that's subpar. Stuck with a more mid-game composition. Now, there's a chance if Percival, if he abandons part of his army and fights like half at a time, then maybe Gerald can pop off. Oof. Maybe. Oof. Once again, brutal EMPs, no storm. No storms. And Gerald looks like he can maybe break this expansion, but at the same time he'll lose his own. So we're trading bases. Meanwhile, there's a lot of Stalkers getting picked up against Stalkers that we can't afford to lose. Oh god! So many Stalkers go down. Shout out to the Cloak Ghost. There's no detection. They just chill. They just stand there and fight. Oh, this time there's an observer. Tries the EMP. Nice cleanup. Okay. That was an expensive loss for Percival. He's had a lot of ghosts. Bearing in mind that Percival, he has a bank, he can rebuild. Gerald cannot. And Percival just looking for bases. Looking for expansions. Maybe the best chance here for Gerald is to quote-unquote base trade. If Percival tries to move out, then Gerald can move in and then force Percival back home and just try to buy some time. If he can buy some time, he may be back. Moving in. Starts over the EMPs. Liberators do seek jump. Gets eyes on the prism. Rotating in. Liberators do overextend. Yeah, they push a little bit too far forward, despite that massive EMPs on the Archons. Archons, they just melt. And there's no storm. Yeah, there's no storm. There's no High Templar. GG gets called, and Percival ties up the series 2-2. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, welcome back to Gressvan. Of course, Gressvan is one of the larger, more defensive maps in the map pool, and we did see here that Percival, he was freely able to get his 4th base, his 5th, and his 6th expansion as well. We mentioned how a lot of this game was going to be hinging on Gerald denying the 4th. On Gerald denying and shutting down the 4th expansion. He failed to do so. He tried. He was trying to rotate in, but alas, he could not really touch the 4th base of Percival or the 3rd. There was like one warping into the main base, which got some damage done, but that was really the only damage that Gerald found. And partially also because of the map. It is easier to turtle up and defend on 6 bases on Gressvan. That's exactly what Percival pulled off. This is also where it's a little bit on Gerald. Once in this matchup, once you realize that you cannot punish the economy, that you cannot gain momentum, that you cannot touch the 4th, 5th, or 6th, that is typically when you have to kind of accept the game state and start to take up, right? Because otherwise you'll be outscaled, which is what we saw, right? We saw the Zealots, the Gateway heavy composition is very momentum based, where you're meant to be applying pressure, killing bases, killing mineral lines, and you're able to maintain your kind of superior economic position with that kind of more aggressive style. But if you fail to deny bases, if you fail to stop the economy of the Terran, then you have to get out of it. You got to get out of it. You got to start taking up. in towards disruptors, in towards Skytos, in towards a greater tech army. Otherwise you just get left behind. Despite that, we did see that Gerald was able to take some better engagements here and there, where Percival was maybe overextending, so you can maybe hope and rely on your opponent making some mistakes here and there, but outside of that, like, you will get outscaled. GG well played. With that, we're now getting into game 5, getting into the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. Building up. Oh no, there's some clowns in the chats. Oh no. No, I think Gas is going master triggering me the most. I mean, hopefully we were able to explain kind of like the pros, why you see that, and like when and where you have to kind of try to get out of that as well. But again, that kind of like mass gateway composition, it works well. Like we've seen it work well in this series as well. But it is heavily reliant on having the better economy, having map control, and containing the Terran player on a limited amount of bases. But again, on Gressfun, it is easier to get your 4th, your 5th, your 6th, your 7th base as well. Like Percival's economy was untouched, so he was able to just outscale every time. And now we're getting ready for the ace match. Let's go. Your shirt is blinking hella fast. It's fine. Oh no. Don't worry about it, Mappy. Don't worry about it. We're in a festive mood. Vikings being cheaper also makes Skytos worse. I wouldn't say that. The Vikings being cheaper does make it a little bit easier to transition into Viking production. Specifically, it's meant to help against Colossus switches and Colossus transitions, against Colossus heavy compositions. It does, I guess, help a little bit against Skytos, but it's mainly about like that more earlier timing where you do need them a little bit faster. It isn't. I wouldn't say that's enough to deter Skytos play. Skytos not a thing anymore with the new storm. Skytos is a thing. Is a thing. I think a lot of Protoss players have given up on late game tech. You win with Gateway Storm or you don't win. No, there's still Protoss players that do get into late game Skytos in this matchup. If you haven't been watching players like Classic, Classic is very fond of it. Hero, he does embrace it from time to time as well. So if you watch the Korean Protoss players, I'm thinking MaxPax's game don't usually last that long. So I would say that we see maybe a little bit less with MaxPax, but from the Koreans you do see that switch from time to time, especially from Classic. Classic is more known for it. Switching into Tempest, switching into Skytos. So it is something that is done. It is something that is seen. But here we go. We're getting into the ace match and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ley Lines. We have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran. It is Percival. Here we go. Here we go, as we are getting into the ace match here, the final game of the series. Let's go. Okay, getting into the ace match here. Welcome to Ley Lines. Ley Lines, I would say, is an easier map to be aggressive on. The fringe bases are more exposed or a little more accessible as well. So this will give both players the opportunity to be more aggressive, to be able to apply pressure to the 4th base, the 5th base, the 6th base, onwards as well. I would say it is more difficult to be more turtle heavy. But here we go. So we are getting into set ace match. First things first, we do have Percival going for an economic start, going for a Rax expand. So economic opener out of our Terran. Hero straight up avoids Storm in a large amount of his games. I mean, most Korean Protosses do go for Colossus heavy styles. Like Hero, Creator, Classic. Is known. He is known. Do recommend check out the VODs if you haven't been watching or have been tuning in. Do recommend it. A lot of PvTs out there. A lot of PvTs. Yes, Percival does scout nearby, checking for proxies. Does check out his 3rd base locations. And it is going to be a Twilight Council opener. Gerald, he hasn't really deviated too much. We have seen, you know, 3-gate blink, 4-gate, 2-gate even as well. So he has varied up in that way, but when it comes to his tech, has gone blink every game. At least in this tournament. Gerald poking in, and Percival is going to be opening up Mind Drop. Let's go. Likewise, now we load into Ley Lines, it does mean that Percival has the opportunity to be aggressive himself as well. So we'll keep an eye on the Terran. We did see him fail to be aggressive on Pylon, if you recall, but I'm sure he's tempted once again on Ley Lines. So we have a 3-gate blink out of Gerald, playing safe, hoping he doesn't avoid his Robo this time. Hallucination confirms the Widow Mines. So Gerald, he's aware of what's coming his way. He's aware of the Widow Mine drop. As Percival does go for the add-on swap. Going for the Raven. So Raven follow up for Auto Turret Harass as well. And it's on Gerald to keep up with the aggression. Taz coming for the interception. Barely doesn't catch it. Gerald, he pulls back. And he keeps up. Oh. First way commits. Mines into the natural, boys are being pulled, and no major damage here. 2 probes going to be going down, and both Widow Mines will fall. Doesn't save him, but at least the medevac does get away. Medevac escapes. Does pull out. Would you have early stim out of Percival? Okay, you have my attention. Early stim and no tank production, so this is going to be a much earlier stim timing out of our Terran. Much earlier. And meanwhile, big shout out to Sixpool in the chat. Papi God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for the first time with Twitch Prime. Thank you, Papi. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy. Auto turret into the main. Gets 2 pro kills, not bad. 2 probes, 9 mining time. Remember, there are no tanks. Without tanks, the defensive position here is that much weaker. And SCVs are going down. So losing a couple of SCVs. Gerald, I'm sure he noticed. Hey, hold up. There are no tanks. And Stim is almost done. Again, building up more Marines. Building up Marauders. Harassment continues. Percival boosting out. And we just see Gerald, he's not quite ready for this. Does spot the medevac. Nicely done. Does scouts. Now he can respond. There's the recall back home. And he's ready. He's ready at the third. Yeah, barely does miss the medevac. Medevac drops into the main. Storm is not yet ready. Stalkers are racing over. Here comes the main push right down the middle. Remember, Stim is done. This is the Stim timing. Gerald is being pulled apart. He needs these storms to connect. He needs the storms. Stim's in. Army Stim's in. The first storm. Oh. Does earn. Yeah, it does earn away. We have 3 more storms, and Gerald, he should be able to hold on here. At the same time, drop is still popping up in the main base. Here come the mass storms. And that's going to be 13. Oh, 13 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. It wasn't the main army. It was that one drop. 14 probes. That is critical damage. Takes down the medevac, but it more than paid for itself. And again, it was just really unfortunate that Gerald, he recalled back home, but he missed the drop anyway. And that gives Percival a massive lead. So Percival takes a lead. Gerald is behind. And it's on Gerald to recover. Percival landing his third base. Ghost are on the way behind this as well. Getting his academy. Oof. Cancels the fourth. And Gerald, he is struggling. Ay, ay, ay. Losing more probes. And that's going to be 22 probe kills in total. Not like this, Pappy, not like this. Now, if Percival overextends, if he throws away this army, for example, if he doesn't trade well, Storm lands. But he gets away. It does pick up, does pull away. If Gerald can catch out some medevacs, if he can land some juicy storms, then maybe. But the pressure's on Gerald, as he's quite far behind here economically. He's oversaturated. He's now getting a 4th base. Fun fact, Percival's 4th base is actually on par with the 4th base of the Protoss. So Geralt is struggling. But he does have storms. It's a lot of Templar. Lose one-eyed Templar though. The harass continues. The Raven is still up and running. The Raven is still there outside of the third. As he snipes three more Stalkers. And you can see the supply disparity becoming even greater here. Again, Percival's army getting larger and larger as he's had better trades, and he still has the better economy as well. So better economy, larger army, more efficient trades, and again, it's going to be a tough hold for Gerald. Now there's EMPs. EMPs are available. Ooh, first storm does land. So does the second. This one's zoning away. I believe that was the final storm. There's another Templar. Oh, does force a pickup. It does force a pickup. If he's not too careful, he gets surrounded. Prism goes down. That's going to be the final storm. And the Percival, he collapses in. Okay, it does collapse in. Flanks the army. Takes in the Archons, the High Templar, the everything. And with that, Percival, he is doing it. He breaks through the main army, pushes in toward, I mean, he just pushed towards the third base. And Gerald, he's down to 2 High Templar, 6 Zealots. This is the army. This is all that's left. Percival, you can send it, Pappy. You can send it. As being responsible, he's repairing. Tops up his medevacs. And again, this came down to the drop. I mean, I say it came down to drop. It came down to the recall that was spent earlier. To waste a recall and to fail to catch the drop and to fail to stop the harass was brutal. And that was game, unfortunately. Okay, that was kind of game then and there. That led into 22 probes going down as Gerald failed to defend his main. Now, Percival, he has retreated. And what I will say is that Gerald, he does get his 4th base up and running. So he has the opportunity here to recover. Remember, it was, what, 2 minutes ago when Gerald, he had 2 Eye Templar and 6 Zealots. Like, that was the time for Percival to move in, but he chose to play it safe. He backed off, he repaired, allowing Gerald to warp in. Bearing in mind that this is mainly a Zealot composition. It's 29 Zealots. It's mainly a Zealot army. 5th base is going to be... That's a kill! That's a kill, not a cancel. There's a recall. Mass EMP on the Zealots. Percival does pull away. Uh-oh. Gets 1. Gets 2. Gets 2 full energy High Templar. Percival, he's having fun, Fab. He's having fun. The ghosts are popping off. That ghost is still active, by the way. It's he's still just getting free damage. Oof. Another High Templar goes down. Decent storm towards the end. Gerald looking to chase. But the Stalkers are exposed. And how many storms are left? He has 1 High Templar remaining. There it is. Templars in the prism. Percival is taking up towards 2 more starports, triple starport mass liberator production. And again, we've been here before, but Percival is very comfortable. His bases are untouched. He's been taking better fights. He's refining his army, getting to 3-3 and mass lib. Oh, as more Stalkers go down. Nice EMPs as well. Percival, you just kite back, he can pick up. Bleeds out a couple of ghosts though. That's a lot of ghosts being thrown away. That was what, 4 ghost kills. And we are waiting for those liberators. Again, from the side of Gerald, the best he can hope for is Percival overextending. Like we just saw, like Percival, he lost 4 ghosts. That was a little bit unnecessary. So if that keeps happening, that's EMP. Prism goes down. Percival, he'll have to get the hell out of here. Yeah, picks up, pulls away. Second army in the center. There's the recall. Recall gets spent. Only a handful of Stalkers, though. Yeah, Percival can just fight. He can just take the fight. Punishes the Stalkers. Recall is unsuccessful. That's going to be 14 probe kills. Nuke into the base as well. Percival coming in from behind. Liberation zones. Oh my god, they stack up on the storm, though. That's a crazy storm. The nuke. Oh, the nuke is cancelled. Yeah, barely is denied. But more bases are falling. Drop into the main. Percival has to be careful, though. Not to throw away too much. Okay, he abandons the army. Does abandon. Rotates over. Remember, recall's on cooldown. He scans. He sees there's no army in position. Another base goes down. Just knocking down more bases, knocking down more expansions. Remember, recall is unavailable. Gets a Nexus. Brutal snipes. And God, he will lose the mineral line. Now Percival, he will lose at least these liberators though. Liberators go down. Percival down to 1 liberator. Gerald, he can take this fight. He gets this around. Wow, he surrounds the ghost. That's gonna be 4 or 5 ghosts going down, and Gerald, he can still win this fight. He's going for it. Final liberator falls as well. And we spoke about it. Percival, he threw away too much. Yeah, he threw away too much there. Lost all his libs. Lost the ghost. He was not paying attention. And this is it. This is Gerald's moment. He has to end it. Keep going. Get into the main. Yeah, he's pushing into the main base. Came to the production. And this can be Gerald just winning the game here and now. Keep going. Takes out more ghosts. Percival is racing back. Yeah, Vikings gonna be going down as well. Ooh, no detection. Yeah, unfortunately, no detection, but Gerald, he just rallies in. And again, Percival, he had opportunities to end the game earlier. He had the opportunities. Did overextend. And Percival, has he done it, Pappy? I mean, the Stalkers are getting low. Stalkers are getting low, the boys are being pulled. Percival is fighting his heart out. He's got a couple of ghosts left. Down to 5 ghosts. The warp in though. No shot. Gerald saw the opportunity. He sees that, Pappy. And again, it was Percival losing too much too quickly. He lost 3 full medevacs across the map. His liberators were exposed. His ghosts were exposed as well. Referring specifically to his ghosts getting surrounded here. And suddenly we're getting scrappy. Suddenly we're getting scrappy here. Okay. We got a game. We're getting messy, Pappy, getting messy. Winding back here, Gerald, he does actually maintain a base, so he finally gets a base up and running here in the center. Gets an expansion. He has decent saturation. At the same time, Percival, his own bases, I mean, he has mules, thankfully, that's making up for it. Alright, what do we have? Liberator gets thrown away. There's 7 ghosts, soon to be 9 ghosts here for Percival. Boys. And probes have to pull away. Gerald getting a planetary. Storms a mineral line. Percival is coming in from behind. Planetary does go down. Oh, but at the same time, he will lose his own base. 25 probe kills. So we have it back and forth. Gerald kills a base, but he loses a mineral line. He will lose that mineral line. We spoke earlier, Percival, he still has the mules, and he still has that greater economy. Percival's rebuilding. This is what somewhere out there, Bjorn is watching this game, and he's like, "See, this is why I never attack." That's true, Pappy, true. Feels Bjorn, man. Oh, yeah, mass EMP, nicely done. EMP's a Templar, no storms. But the Zealots are trading well. Zealots, I pick off 2 more ghosts. So 5 liberators being made. Storm lands. Oh no, he stays in the storm! Zealots take the storm to the face. Jesus. Zealots take the storm to the face. Yo, what are we nuking? What are we nuking? What I'm sure he just assumed there was an expansion here. He does get a base. Base goes down. Base goes down, gets into another expansion. Percival, he will still max out. As again, Percival is standing in a lot of storms. But overall still has a better economy, still takes the better fights. And Percival, he should still take this. But again, Gerald, he made it messy. Again, it was crazy when he pushed right down mid. Caught the army, got into the base. I'm sure he gave Percival a heart attack, but there we go. GG, well played. Good luck gets called, and Percival, he will take the series 3-2, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Percival. Shout out to Gerald, because again, Gerald, he was playing from behind from almost the entirety of that game. We spoke earlier about the early economic damage. Gerald losing, what, 22 probes? It was crazy damage being dealt. So Gerald, he was down and out. Despite that, the tenacity from Gerald to hang in there despite being at such a deficit and almost bringing it back, finding a way, finding opportunities, capitalizing on Percival's mistakes, and was almost able to claim the game as well. GG. GG, well played. Whew, aye. And with that, Percival, he will take it. He will advance on to the grand finals. And the question becomes, who will join him in those finals? As I believe the lower semis are ready for us as well. Quickly double checking here. I believe the lower semis is going to be Trigger versus who exactly? We didn't see the result of Mixu in Future. Oh my god, Mixu, Mixu, but Mixu takes on Future 3-2, and up next we have Trigger versus Mixu in the lower semis. Let's go, baby, let's go. Crazy upset there, crazy upset. I mean, at the same time, Future, kind of like similar to Estrella, Future is also very inactive. He's very inactive, so it's always hard to kind of gauge the skill level of Future whenever he plays, because there's so little information to work off of. But regardless, that's a big win for Mixu. And again, up next is Trigger versus Mixu. Oh boy.